In this session, I'm going to give you an overview of the WordLift's knowledge graph platform. We're going to use a dummy example of a merchant, just because, again, it's one of those use cases where our platform is quite great, especially to manage very heavy technical implementations at scale. And right now, of course, this is a fake account of a merchant and therefore of a retailer that has an e-commerce to show you how we handle it through our platform. The interesting thing is, as you can see here, we for each brand, we do create like product knowledge graph that becomes really the way to actually make it possible for that brand to have the ability not only to automate a lot of processes, which is the point of the work that we try to do together, but in reality, a key element is that as you can see from our Knowledge Graph Explorer, the product Knowledge Graph becomes really a way for us to feed semantic information to those AI interfaces to actually enable them to optimize our brand for those surfaces. The interesting point is, of course, the product knowledge graph, as you can see from here, is used as the main way for us to optimize things on page. As an example, as you can see from the platform, in these dummy and in this example, we have optimized potentially over 8,000 pages of an e-commerce website. And again, we can do this at scale of hundreds of thousands of pages of an e-commerce website. So that's the key thing of the work that we're trying to do with our platform, give you the foundation and an infrastructure that can handle very large scale implementations for AI visibility for e-commerce. But the key point here is that the knowledge graph itself becomes really the main platform on top of which you can also optimize the feeds. As you can see, there is a specialized section of the platform, which is the merchant, where you can enable the product knowledge graph also to become really your way to expose capabilities for those AI interfaces and automate a lot of processes that are done manually in the e-commerce space. So instead of just optimizing for the, let's say, on page with schema markup, we are also able to automate the feed generation for things like merchant center platforms like Google Shopping. And this is critical because in this way, with our knowledge graph platform, we can pretty much, again, work across different parts of the what used to be like the digital funnel that was divided across like organic with things like SEO of page on page and then paid. Right now we're trying to leverage knowledge graph to do the whole funnel, not only just the optimization that you can do on page with very technical things like schema markup, but also the optimizations that you can do through the feeds that are used, for instance, in the platform like Google Shopping to bid on commercial keywords, and therefore also lower the CAC or the customer acquisition cost of your paid campaigns or improve the efficacy of those main campaigns. So that is the whole point of what we're trying to do here. And then, of course, once the product knowledge graph is in place, it can handle very complex things. We're adding more and more connectors. You're going to have way more in our platform, like the monitoring that is going to expand. Right now, for instance, the main type of monitoring that we are leveraging to the platform is a type of monitoring that is focused on the structure data side, so the technical side. And in this case, of course, it's loading like thousands of URLs that we have active. And again, this is all fake stuff. But this is to say that you're gonna have you have within already existing monitoring the technical side of it, but over time this is transforming into your command center for AI visibility, because what we're going to bring in here is also how the data of the knowledge graph is actually enabling AI visibility across like different surfaces. And of course, you do see a lot of errors warnings here, which is also the point of the platform to manage those. And again, those are present here because this is a fake account. But the thing here, you can monitor like very technical implementations, understand what type of markup you have on those pages, and more this is becoming like the command center for us, where we show you the AI visibility piece. And again, the interesting point is everything that we do with the WordLift platform is based on grounding it in the product knowledge graph. So the product knowledge graph not only becomes a way for us to automate a bunch of activities at scale, making them like super reliant, accurate, and so forth. Imagine that, again, we go live and we implement the product knowledge graph on thousands or like hundreds of thousands of pages of an e-commerce, and then we can dynamically, inject the schema markup and also dynamically refresh it, because we know that right now the schema markup is becoming something that those AI interfaces consume way more than in the past. So if in the past you needed to do like maybe the update of the markup once a year, now we know for a fact that the granular element of a markup, but also the way you bring those back into like an enriched feed are quite important, because those are consumed way more by those AI interfaces. So if I'm a user and is asking about a specific question about the type of glasses with the specific materials and stuff, I can now have them all in the product knowledge graph, so that when I ask these, let's say on ChatGPT, I'm going to be able to find the answer. Now, then the generation piece, which I show you like a couple of pieces. One, it's super technical. And to be fair, most of the things that we're doing are getting actually inserted in the context of our agent, who is going to be pretty much handling most of this stuff for you. Meaning that, while in the past, as you can imagine, you needed to be super technical to query something like a knowledge graph infrastructure, because this GraphQL, now with the agent, you're going to be able to do more and more of this stuff pretty much independently. So that is the thing. The technical platform and the content generation piece here is still present for us to actually enable a very complex queries that you can do on top of graph. Now I'm doing a very simple one here to test the PDP generation at scale, but in reality, again, the thing is, let's see a test here. The thing here is that you want to do this, with our agent in a way that can help you query the knowledge graph and also ground the content that we're generating through the knowledge graph. The interesting thing is, for you to understand, everything that we're doing here is grounded in the knowledge graph. Therefore, this means that even when we select the model for the generation, that if we do it with the agent, it's going to be done potentially automatically. The thing is, the model is going to be customized. So our approach here, and the reason why you see so many AI models, is not because there are so many AI models out there, which we know the frontier AI models are way fewer than these. But the point is we actually customize the AI model on top of the knowledge graph. So we ground and fine tune the custom AI model on top of the product knowledge graph for the generation at scale. That is our advantage. Now, for this specific generation, I just use like a simple, not much advanced GPT model. But again, the main goal and the main for you to understand our process is that we create a custom AI model fine-tuned and grounded on the product knowledge graph, and then we do the generation. This generation can happen for like hundreds or like thousands of products. Now, of course, again, since we're doing this as a fake exercise, you're going to see the generation, and then generation is ready, is formatted in a way that can be imported directly in the CMS, and by default, this can be exported as a CSV, as a CSV that can be integrated in the CMS, but also it can be integrated through API. Now, since this is a fake generation, we pretend that they're like everything is validated, and then once stuff are validated, we're going to find those as an exportable file that really is going to give us. And I don't think you can see it right now, but I'm going to open pretty much the example of entity page that we create in correspondence of a generation that we do. And what you're going to find there is pretty much all product description generation that can be attached directly to a product of the e-commerce. But again, the key point here of the whole flow that we try to do here is just that everything that is done in the content platform, the technical content platform, is to do things at scale. So thousands of potential product descriptions to get them like validated and then directly attach them to like an e-commerce website. The key point here is that a lot of those interactions are getting attached to our agent that can handle a lot of stuff, and that can be integrated also as an MCP that you can leverage on your side to do like very custom reporting, because now you can access pretty much the knowledge graph that you have built in the platform, and with that you can do like a very, very complex queries through our MCP, and therefore the interesting thing is that again the knowledge graph here becomes the main command center for you to do a lot of things, and automation at scale, reporting, very complex reporting, and very, very complex things that will help you out scale the AI visibility strategy, in this case for a retailer, but this applies a bit for every type of brand. And this is a little bit of an idea of how we work with our platform, technical platform. But again, there are many other things that can be done, but it's just like a quick general overview.